I went to the conference in Chicago. It was Dr. Fuhrman's conference, and he is a doctor that focuses on diet and nutrition. Now, let's rewind like 100 years ago or so, before like the pharmaceutical, before, you know, we had a high instance of pharmaceutical medications and things like that. When you would go to the doctor if you were sick, the things that they would look at is diet and exercise and just some external causes to your internal body and how to fix and adjust appropriately to help you. So, and we've gotten so far from that, like we just kind of want a magic pill, or doctors tend to prescribe medication. Now, a lot of doctors do it because they feel like their patients want that, and a lot of doctors do it just because it's the easy thing. So, and a lot of them just believe in the medications that they're prescribing. So he kind of focuses more on diet and nutrition, and he coined the term nutritarian, which means that it's a person who eats foods that are mainly fruits and vegetables, a diet mainly of fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, and like whole grains and beans. So yeah, it's a diet high in micronutrients. So the basics of it is that fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, and beans all have a high micronutrient content. So things like a strawberry has like 1,000 micronutrients in it, where like a piece of chicken doesn't have any, or like a bagel doesn't have any. Now a piece of chicken still has protein, and we've had like this broad, like we've made it like nutrition being just protein, carbs, calories, calcium. We've gone with only just about 30, but there's so many other nutrients that our bodies need that are found in greens and fruits and vegetables and nuts and beans and seeds and stuff like that. So that's just like the basics of it. And I'll share the two most shocking things that I learned, and then next week I'll go into depth of some other things that I learned. But the two most shocking things is, number one, that cancer lives in all of us. And I was like, when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. But he explained it like this, and I remember this from, you know, biology class and science class when I was younger, that a cell takes 120 days to split, to become two cells. So for one cancer cell to become two in our body, it takes 120 days. For those two to become four, it's another 120 days. For those four to become 8, another 120 days. So just for one cell to split into 4, it takes, you know, well, for one cell to become 8, it'd be like about a year or so, like a little bit less, a little bit more than a year. So by the time cancer gets so strong in our body that we can detect it, or we feel symptoms of it, or a test would detect that we do have cancer, because they're only going to take a swab from a certain spot, and you can only detect it if there's so many cells, like millions of cells. So it's been, for it to be detected or symptoms to occur, it would have had to have been in the body for years and years. So cancer is in each and every one of us. There's cancer somewhere in my body. There's cancer somewhere in your body. And what are we doing to prevent cancer growth? And what are we doing to help cancer growth? And our diet is the number one indicator of that. There's foods that we eat commonly in the American diet that fuel cancer growth. And there's foods that we're not eating commonly in the American diet, like nuts and beans and seeds and fruits and vegetables and greens, that restrict cancer growth and minimize cancer growth and can kill cancer cells. And they help our immune system, build our immune system up to be able to attack that. So that was the number one shocking thing that I learned. And the second most shocking thing that I learned is about folic acid. Now, if you're a woman and you've been pregnant and had a baby, you know that, when you go to the doctor or the gynecologist, they say, make sure you're taking folic acid. Now, they tell you that folic acid is important for making sure for the baby's development, and it prevents spina bifida. And so you have to make sure you have enough folic acid. Well, folic acid is actually the pharmaceutical company's way of duplicating folate. So folate is a natural occurrence in, you mostly find it in greens like kale and spinach and romaine lettuce and stuff like that. So they're trying to duplicate that, and they do it by making folic acid. Now folic acid, what they are making and putting into the prenatal vitamins is actually poisonous to our bodies and actually causes breast cancer. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I've been taking something that's causing breast cancer. So instead of the doctor saying, okay, make sure you have enough folate and you're eating enough folate for the baby, so eat your greens, your kale, your spinach, they don't tell you that. They just tell you, take this pill, make sure you take a pill that has enough folic acid in it. And it's not right, because we should be able to make those decisions on our own, of how we want to go about getting it. But they're not even giving us that information, when you're at the doctor's to eat folate. Just take this pill. So that was the second most shocking thing I learned, is that folic acid actually causes breast cancer in women. So yeah, so I'm definitely done taking prenatal vitamins, and I'm eating greens every day. I hate kale. It's disgusting to me, but I'm forcing myself to like it because it will help my body and will help my future children, and when I get pregnant next time around, hopefully I will, it will provide the nutrients my baby needs. So I will go more into depth next week of more things that I learned, but those were just the two most shocking things. So anyways, I will see you next week, and thanks for watching, and have a good day.